What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on Avengers Doomsday. So even though they've finished principal photography, there is still so much information, details that is coming out. So we've got some new sequences or scenes or leaks to go over to do with Doomsday that is very interesting. There's a lot of misleading information going around to the point where people seem to think we are getting a separate Avengers versus X-Men movie when this is literally taking place in this movie, and y'all already know that. So if you are new around here, what the freaking hell are you doing? Make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, Kaiju, Monsterverse, pop culture based content that I try to deliver on a daily basis. You could subscribe. Let me know down below, who do you most want to appear in said movie? Remember, they're not going to reveal all the cast members, all the cameos. Marvel does want to keep some surprises under wraps, although it's not hard to guess who could appear in this movie. Also, check us out on TikTok, Warstu. I do similar content over there, Marvel, DC, anime, much faster content. Hard to post as many times over here. Check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the voice, and check us out on Twitter, WarstuG. Right, let's get into it. So, James Mack is slowly becoming the most reliable, credible person in the space. Who is he? He is a VFX artist. So when it comes to CGI and VFX, it doesn't make it clear if he still is. And allegedly, he claims she has worked on some big things. He says, I worked on some 3D previs and sketches for the Upside Down in Stranger Things season 4 and 5. So even if he hasn't worked on stuff himself, he's really credible and has really big connections. So he has dropped a lot of bombshells recently. So he was asked, will the Cerebral appear in Doomsday? Yes, they're going to use it to search for Franklin. I mean, that was posted on October 2nd. Now, if that's true, then it does appear like maybe in the Fantastic Four post-credit scene, Dr. Doom did take Franklin away from Sue Storm, but the way she reacted in the post-credit scene almost made me feel like they knew each other, so I'm not actually sure about that. Before we get to the actual most important part of the video, we're going to go over some small stuff. So he was asked about unannounced Doomsday characters, so on and so forth. Yes, they are supporting characters, cameos, surprise appearances. The only ones I would say are important and will be confirmed very soon are Brie Larson, Warstu, Paris, Benedict Cumberbatch, and Sophia. So this is where we get on to the actual leaks, if you want to call them that. So as we know, there has been drone shots, footage of what appears to be the X-Mansion. We see Sentinels, so on and so forth. But James Mack on Twitter came out and said something. Just a question. Do you know if Sentinels in Doomsday are controlled by Doom? And he says, yes, Doom will have the ability to control machines stroke robots through ruins, taking command of the X-Men universe Sentinels. In several concept sketches, the Sentinels are shown with green ruins across their bodies. Now, why this is important is because the magic show, the light show we had recently, we see Doom with lots of green ruins. And why this is important, and when you compare this alleged insider, and he doesn't even call himself that, is he's talking about concept art he's seen, right? This isn't one of the other so-called insiders who are talking about what they heard. He's talking about what he's actually seen, which makes it much more credible. We went over the fact that he said after Doomsday, Thor and Bucky will have something in common. That's the most recent video about how Thor could lose his arm, then get an Uri Black kind of arm, which would be cool if that's the way we're going to go. But there's an interesting article that uses one of his leaks about how Doom does get his own way in this movie. So it says this: a new leaked report for Marvel's Avengers Secret Wars confirmed that Robert Downey Jr., Dr. Doom, will be successful in succeeding at the end of Avengers Doomsday. It is reported that at the end of Doomsday, Dr. Doom uses godlike power to create his own world called Battleworld. Now, does that mean he takes the power of the Scarlet Witch? He takes the power of Franklin Richards? He takes the power of Loki? He takes the power of Warstu? We don't know. A lot of people seem to think Loki and Thor are going to die in this movie. I think that is nonsense. Why? Thor, Love and Thunder was not received well, and it turned over $800 million. Loki Season 1 show is Marvel's most successful TV show, so they won't be killing either of them off. So, according to insider James Mack, but he doesn't call himself that, who leaked major details for Avengers Doomsday, he has now revealed some important information for Avengers Secret Wars. Like in the comics, Marvel's 2015 Secret Wars storyline, after the multiverse is destroyed, Doom creates his own world and all the heroes forget their past lives and serve God Emperor Doom. Only a small group of surviving heroes like Reed Richards, Black Panther, and a few others try to reverse the situation, overthrowing Doom and his absolute power over the world. Now, although this is interesting, this does just coincide with the Secret Wars leaked concept art that we got a while ago. So that doesn't necessarily say this is true, but the images we got on a bag, I can't believe I'm about to say this. The images we got on a bag that was given to someone that worked on Avengers Doomsday, the descriptions, does match exactly what James Mack said. So in terms of credibility and validity, I would say he has more credibility than all the scoopers put together. This insider also reported there will be fights against the Avengers and X-Men in Avengers Doomsday. Dr. Doom, okay, we just went over that previously. But it's also worth saying, he alliterated that Avengers versus X-Men takes place during the Avengers Doomsday movie, and it's not a separate thing. Which is true, but of course, they could have Avengers versus X-Men fight movie later on in the Mutant Saga, but if they're going to retcon and reboot a bunch of the X-Men and a bunch of the Avengers, it kind of wouldn't be pointless by the time we get to that. So if they're going to do it, it needs to be in Doomsday, and we already know that is the case. So previous leaked concept art for Secret Wars on ArtStation by one of Marvel's actual concept artists already revealed Avengers Secret Wars reportedly adopts an ancient medieval style reminiscent of the 1602 universe from What If. Some of the art shows a kingdom of Battleworld where Doom resides, features castles and a mythical vibe, so on and so forth, which is interesting. A new report from Daniela Rickman mentions that Marvel Studios was planning to release the first teaser trailer for Avengers Doomsday the same time that James Cameron's Avatar, Fire and Ash both come to theaters. That could be true. Could be true. But we've also got information saying that Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer is coming out in November. A plot synopsis for this movie says Dr. Doom has officially arrived in Marvel's cinematic universe stage. The villain is a master of cutting-edge science and powerful magic and will unleash a cascading crisis across the whole multiverse. Marvel's most iconic actor. That line doesn't really make sense. Robert Downey Jr. also returns as Dr. Doom. So this is essentially how the movie's going to end, but we've always known that Doom's going to get his own way. He will build Battleworld. He will collapse the current multiverse and create his own universe, being like the new Prime Earth. I'm guessing that's where they're going. But it doesn't really give us context of how we get to this. Does he need Loki's powers? Does the Scarlet Witch come into play? Now, it's also worth saying that also in the news, Scarlet Witch actor herself has recently came out and said some stuff that implies she has a major role in Avengers Secret Wars. Elizabeth Olsen wants to return to the role as Scarlet Witch. It is something that I love. It's something I always want to return to. These movies aren't for critics. These are for the fans. And then you got some insiders going, oh, it's funny how she says that. Now she knows she's going to have a massive role in Avengers Secret Wars. But she's not actually confirmed that she's in it. I really find it interesting. And I guess you could say myself, like YouTubers and stuff, do this as well, how you take stuff out of context. But realistically, if you watch the channel, what I say in the title is never out of context. It's just your assumption is out of context. So yes, I believe Scarlet Witch will appear in Doomsday, but she's going to have a pinnacle role in Secret Wars. And it's going to be very interesting to see where they're going to go. Because remember, Battleworld gets created at the end of Doomsday, yet there's no script and there's no plot. And somehow they were shooting for 5 to 6 months without a script. I mean, make it make sense. And they've spent hundreds of millions of dollars and You know, they've started a massive campaign, and you got the actors themselves, and you got the directors, the Russos teasing stuff, look hard, and all this stuff, but there's no script. There is no freaking script. Yet we're getting a trailer in December, but there's no script. You've got to question, and you've got to think, how is Spider-Man 4 shooting? There's no drama, but Doomsday shooting, and there's loads of drama, yet Spider-Man Brand New Day is arguably just as big as Doomsday because Doctor Doom, so on and so forth, are going to appear. It blows my mind how people believe all the behind-the-scenes drama stuff. And why I believe James Mack is a bit more credible is he doesn't really yap about there's no script and all this kind of stuff. He just talks about what he's seen, so on and so forth. So I'm not saying any insider is actually true or what they talk about is real, but I'm going to try and deliver stuff slightly different. So going to do my best to improve the channel like I always have done. So thank you very much for all the love and support, lads and ladettes. Like always, check us out on TikTok, Warstu. Check us out on Twitter, WarstuJ. Hello, we'll catch you another guys. Very soon. Catch ya later.